Well, oh well. I'm certain nobody was expecting a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot video, let alone from me. And this is not just any Dragon Ball Z Kakarot video. This is a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot video about a new mod I am releasing in celebration of hitting 900 subscribers. I'm very thankful to every one of you who has subscribed, and cliches out of the way, I just want to say thanks. Now, as thanks, I am going to finally release this mod that I've been working on and off for a while now. It's called the Playable Villains mod for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Now, if you all are aware of the Debug menu released back in the first build of the game, which the Debug menu, if you don't know what that is, back when the game first came out, there was a database leak that once, I believe it was on STEAM DBZ, the CC2 accidentally published the Debug build and left it online for people to download, and most people, a very few amount of people actually got access to download it, and the debug menu did pretty much what any debug menu in any video game does. If you don't know what it is, think of it like a mod menu in some sense. Pretty much you can just toggle every aspect of the game, and in the original build of the game, you were able to play as every single character, including those unplayable characters, such as the support characters and the villains. So like Frieza, Nappa, Cell, Raditz, every one of those characters were playable on the debug menu. However, recently, they ended up, well, about a week after it came out, they took it down, and I and a few other people were lucky enough to actually download a build of it, and then someone released a mod of it online, which doesn't work anymore because the game was updated. However, with the release of some new tools for modding Unreal Engine games, I was able to finally add in these villains to be playable without the need of the debug menu. Now, the way this... Okay, this game's kind of loud. I'm going to have to lower it when we get in, but... it's really hard to explain, but I'll just show you guys. Pretty much when you played as the villains, it would be just like when you fight them in the story mode. They would have most of their attacks. Villains actually have about like 20 different attacks, but you can only use four of them as a playable character. So, obviously, the game doesn't give you all those attacks. So, let's just take a look. Alright, dude, I've got to mute this game. It's way too loud. I swear the audio was not this loud. Okay, sound effects. Okay, there we go. And yeah, so I have been playing Kakarot pretty much ever since it came out. I just never made videos on it. Mainly because I don't make videos on these games usually, unless it's something I created, or a mod or something. But yes, the Playable Villains mod. So, normally you can play them through the debug menu by pressing like the... Oh my gosh, no. I need to get to a safe area. Get away from me. No, I lost my train of thought. I was trying to get to an area where the zombies... where the characters can't get me. Alright. Please leave me alone. Nope. Sorry, guys. I'm having a bit of issues trying to get to it. Okay. Alright, so, normally with the debug menu, you press a button, and it'll open the debug menu, and... Is someone coming over here? No. Okay. And you can, like, choose your character, who to play as. Now, what this mod does is simple. It adds them right here. It adds every single one of the villains that you can legitimately play as to the character roster that you can select. Including some extra ones, which, you normally wouldn't obviously be able to play as, right? The DLC characters, like Supreme Kai, Deborah, Bobbity, Android 18 and 17, Whis, Beerus, and Golden Frieza, all of them you cannot access with the debug menu because it was for the original build of the game. This version of that, however, adds them in. Golden Frieza, by the way, you notice he's not here, but I'll explain that in just a second. My apologies about that jump cut, everybody. I just had to do something very quickly. As I was saying, Golden Frieza's not here, but I will explain him in a minute. So, the way this works is this adds in any of the characters you want to play as into the roster. Before anybody asks, first form Cell, second form Cell, and I think Super Perfect Cell are not playable. Every form of Frieza is not playable except for Final and Golden. Who else? There's some character, Mira's not playable, either, for some reason. So, like, Kid Buu, Buuhan are not playable. Only Majin Buu's playable. This is because these are all the same characters with different variations. I can't make them playable. There's only one person I know who would be able to make them playable, and that's SSJ AYTS, who is the greatest modder for this game, in my opinion. And speaking of SSJ AYTS, he made a Versus Mode mod, which this mod needs to work properly. You need to download that Versus Mode mod with this mod in order for it to work properly. Just letting you all know that. I'll have a link to it in the description, so don't worry about it. So yeah, pretty much what this does is it adds in all the characters you could pretty much want to play as into the roster so you can play as them yourself. This will only work on the main story and in DLC 2. DLC 3 and 1 do not have this. So keep that in mind, everybody. And so, though you might be thinking it'll crash your game if you like go into a super attack palette. Well, no actually. Just take a look for ourselves. So as you can see, it shows all their attacks right here. So Cyclone Monday, Double Sunday, Saturday Crash, and this attack right here, which I'll just demonstrate in a minute. So let's also level these guys up. So the reason you guys are wondering why you might need the versus, and well, yes, I am modding this, so it gets them to 250 immediately. The reason, by the way, you were probably wondering why you need the versus mode mod for this to work, that's simple actually, because these characters don't have stats unless that mod's installed. Another reason this mod's even possible is only because of that mod, the versus mode mod. SSJ AYTS is just an absolute beast. I mean, he just made so many awesome mods for this game. It's insanity. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. This is not my main save. This is my main save, but I'm not going to save my game, so don't worry. Now, before we go any further, you will need to make a backup of your save. If you don't know where the backups of your saves are, check the description. It shows you the location. You need to make backups of your saves because if you save your game as an unplayable character and you uninstall this mod, your save file will become corrupted and you won't be able to load your save file unless this mod's installed. And with new DLC coming out very soon, you pretty much want to make a save file. I am not responsible if someone forgets to do this. I have multiple warnings in the description and in the mod itself when you download it telling you to make a backup of your save file. Please make a backup of your save file. It's just the best idea if you make a backup save. Trust me, it's not very hard. It is Beerus, Whis, Android 17. These are DLC Android 17 and 18 from DLC 3, by the way. Babidi, Deborah, Supreme Kai, who's actually playable, and Future Gohan. Now, before you guys ask, Future Gohan, Super Vegito, and Majin Vegito have, in your version of the mod, they are gone. This is because with mods you can actually play as Majin Vegeta, Future Gohan, and Super Vegito, and you can play Super Vegito in the vanilla game. This Super Vegito was added to this mod before he was made playable officially, so obviously I don't need to have Vegito here anymore. You guys can just play as him normally. Future Gohan, the same thing with the costume mod, and same with Majin Vegeta with the costume mod. The reason is because I don't want you guys having multiple versions of these characters when your character select. There are multiple Android 18s. However, that's not a big deal, because they're completely different characters. I believe they have different outfits as well. I think. I'm not sure, though. Oh, by the way, this does make the support characters playable by proxy, so that's pretty sick. So let's go try one of them out, shall we? So the way these guys work are, you cannot interact with anything with these characters. So you can't be talking to NPCs if you're playing as a character you normally can't play as. Now, I'm not going to be playing as, like, Majin Vegito or Super Vegito, because these aren't in the version your guys are going to have, so... Also, the version you guys have, the attacks the characters have are actually a bit different. So, Cell will actually have different attacks for you guys. This is because there's a file in this mod that corrupts the Versus Mode mod that I had to reverse engineer my mod just to get it to work with Versus Mode. I had to reverse engineer Versus and this mod. So, the version you guys are going to get, so some characters will be missing their cinematics. So, Sonic Beam for, look, it says Cell Second Form. You see, it's glitchy. You guys got to be... Like, that's why Second Form Cell's not playable. So, Sonic Beam is a cinematic attack for Cell, which you guys will not be able to use, because a file overwrites the Versus Mode mod, completely breaking some of the fights there, and I'm not doing that to the mod developer, so I just left the game as if you selected the characters through the debug menu. So if you played as Cell through the debug menu, you will know what attacks he has. So, keep that in mind, guys. I'm sorry, for example, Cell will be missing a cinematic, Final Form Frieza is missing a cinematic, I believe Beerus is missing it. No, Beerus is not. Golden Frieza's missing a cinematic, I believe. And that's about it. Everyone else has their cinematics, I believe. This Android 18 is also missing a cinematic as well, so... And also some characters would be missing all their attacks. Like, Android 18 does not have these attacks normally. I put them on her for the mod itself, but I can't release that version of the mod because... it corrupts Versus Mode, so I'm not doing that, I'm sorry. Because I would have to re-release the Versus Mode, which I'm not doing to the developer, I'm sorry about that, but... this still adds in all the villains for you guys to play as, so don't worry about it. So, Who should... I don't know who to go as first. For example, every other character has their cinematics, though, so don't worry about it. So, let's go as Nappa, I suppose. You'll go as Nappa. Oh, so if you don't have Versus Mode installed, you see Nappa's health and key. That's going to be 8,012. For 8,000 health and 12 key. At level 250. That's why you need the Versus Mode mod, or you won't be able to play as these guys in fights. But yeah, see? You can play as any of the characters that I added to your roster. And maybe in the future, No, please get away. Please get away. Please get away! No, we'll actually, No, we're gonna use the... We're gonna fight a, Dude, SSJAYTS is just such... I can't believe he made this mod. Like, it's just so sick. Absolute just G, dude. I don't know how he did it. How he did this, I don't know. But that's why I'm really glad that you need the Versus Mode mod, because you guys should have that installed anyway. He's the only modder for this game, pretty much. So as you can see, you have all the attacks that you would pretty much need to be able to play as the character. Nappa is one of the characters who still has all his cinematics, even in the version you guys are going to get. Like I said, it's only Golden Frieza, Cell, and like 2 other characters are missing their cinematics. So don't worry about it. Maybe in the future I can add an update for them, but I wouldn't count on it, unfortunately. So as you can see, they have all their attacks, they can do damage. You can use them with other playable characters. You cannot use these characters as support characters because they do not know how to function properly. Unfortunately, they don't. I wish they did, but they don't. Okay. Yeah, like I said, you get all the attacks. It's really fun, dude. Like, adding all these extra playable characters. And it's also good because this gives you a reason to go back and play the story mode, right? Then, see Nappa? He has this attack default. They get the cinematics. Looks so good, dude. Giant Storm! But yeah, like I said, not every single character is playable like it is in the debug menu, but it's still pretty damn close. Oh my gosh! I don't normally like spamming cinematics and just these OP attacks, but like obviously I have to. And by the way, Mira is not playable. I don't know why, but I've tried everything to add Mira. You can't add him for some reason. He crashes the game. I can't even add Gotenks either. He crashes the game as well. And I didn't add like the minion characters like the Cybermen. I was like, who fucking cares about them? Oh, Deborah does not have a cinematic either because of it. But he still has all his attacks, so don't worry. I know DLC 3 Android 17 is missing a few attacks, so is Beerus and Whis, but... No, Whis isn't missing, Beerus is missing a couple. But that's because Beerus has like 85 attacks. Like... He just does. I mean, you can see I have an attack and a super attack assist, which I can't use. You cannot change their attacks. You're stuck with the attacks that are on the default roster, so... Keep that in mind, guys. So we're going to play as Beerus now, because you guys probably never seen Beerus gameplay before in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, so let's do it really quick. I mean, like, it's pretty sick. Like... I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, being able to play with these guys, finally. I mean, I like fighting these guys more, but... Hey, Beerus doesn't have aura, I just realized. Another cool thing, purple Ki Blast, and he has multiple Ki Blasts as well. It's really sick. Oh! Okay. Here you have that attack. Well, the Beerus that is the default one does not have this attack, but... It's still sick. You can still get to use it. It's very dangerous, though, because this can happen. Wait. No! It's really weird when you use it, but it's still a cinematic, which is why he has it. You can cancel attacks, too. So I have these to defend me. Pressing LTX will, oh my gosh. Hakai. It's sick. It's very sick. It's very sick. Being able to use these characters finally. Links in the description if you want to play it, like I said. I'm telling you, some characters are missing attacks because of versus mode being required for this mod to work. Beerus, believe it or not, Beerus and all the DLC characters don't need versus mode to work. It's only some characters need it. So, every non-DLC character needs it to work. Except Majin Vegeta. Majin Vegeta doesn't need it. But Majin Vegeta's not part of the mod, unfortunately, because... Nor does Future Gohan, right? Because they're technically playable characters. That's exactly why then... Because this is the Future Gohan you, like, fight or use in the DLC story mode, but, you know, since you can play as him with the costume mod from SSJY as AYTS, it's like, it's weird, because if you use this Future Gohan with, like, this Future Gohan, or this Gohan right here, if you overwrite him with Future Gohan, I mean, it's just redundant. You have two Future Gohan, so... Same thing with Majin Vegeta, like Majin Vegeta here, like, he has the same stats as Vegeta, I think. No, he doesn't. He has different stats, but like I said, this exact Vegeta, this Vegeta here become Majin Vegeta, so. Same thing with Vegito. You can play as Vegito normally with the fusion attack, which I don't have. I've never played to get it yet, but I will in the future. I mean, there's so many characters. Dude, I don't know who to play. I know Bobbity doesn't have any normal attacks, but he's still playable. I added him. Shin actually has all his attacks in the default version you guys are gonna get. Dude, Shin actually has a lot of cool attacks. Let's just... You can actually go anywhere on the map with these guys. You just can't interact with NPCs with them. So, keep that in mind, kids. But yes, I just wanted to release this. I understand. Playable villains have always just been a very weird thing in this game. I know a lot of people wanted it. It's very weird how there's no versus mode in this game by proxy. CC2 just doesn't know how to make their... They have all these cinematics and you just can't use any of them. So... We'll fight my boy Future Gohan.
Kachin, the hardest metal in the universe. Let's see how you handle it.
Shin, by the way, actually you can use as a support character if you did not know. You can actually play as Supreme Kai as a support character. You can use him on teams and he'll actually function perfectly. Dude, yeah. It's cool. Like, why they made Shin such a sick character is, I don't know why. Like, look at this. It's sick. Like, look at this. It's so crazy. No, fuck off, bitch. Like, CC2 makes all these attacks and you just can't see them anywhere. It makes no fucking sense. I'll show you what happens if you try using a support character as a one of these villains as a playable character or as a support character. So watch Boo in the fight. Let's check it out. We'll fight Majin Vegeta. See, you can actually use Shin, and he'll fight just like you. Wait, no, does he? No, he does. Yeah, he does. See, right? Does he? Yeah, he does. See? Shin actually fights, just like you. But Boo, for example, he's just going to sit there and do nothing. This is because Boo is not a normal playable character, so he just doesn't work at all. And Shin will become equipped with his attacks, by the way, as a support character. As you can see. That's so sick. I mean... Why is Shin not usable as a support character normally? I don't know. Let's check it. Yeah, then it puts the top-down view. Oh! You cancel attacks, like I said. No! It's really cool. And for the last one, we'll just play it. I guess we'll try out. I'm actually curious if Mod Video works if he's an ally. I guess it really doesn't matter too much but you know, we'll try it anyway. We'll try to put Mod Video. I don't think he works though. No, actually, I don't think Mod Video works. But we'll try using an actual playable character as a support, and you'll notice they work just fine, so let's check it. We'll fight Imperfect Cell, who you can't play as. I've tried getting him to work, but he doesn't work. He shows up as Perfect Form Cell, even though he's imperfect, right? It's really weird. See, you can play as all, your characters work perfectly. Cell, I believe, has Kamehameha, Death Beam, Punishing Storm, and Sonic Storm. I believe those are his normal attacks. But yeah, Cell has this attack right here, which just puts a force field of energy balls around him. Death Beam, which is such a fun attack. So fun. Cell is one of my favorite characters. For good reason. I really wish he could play First Form Cell. But yeah, his First Form Cell is the only real character you can't play as. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's the Playable Villains mod. And remember, make sure you're playing as a playable character before you save your game. And make a backup of your save game before an NPC was added. Otherwise, you will have trouble. And I don't know what to tell you at that point, unfortunately. But that's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks again for hitting us 900 subscribers. I'm very thankful for it. And I will see you all next time. Later.